and we'll get things kicked off. Okay, guys, so welcome to the mid-year reset event. This is something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to helping you guys. We're going to be covering quite a few bits. We're going to be covering where you're at right now, because we can't go anywhere if we don't know where we're at. We're going to be identifying where we want to go so that we can put a plan together to get there, because just saying, I want to be fitter, I want to be healthier, I want to be happier, it's quite frankly bullshit. It's not going to do anything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to identify the gap. What are the habits, the behaviors, and the patterns that are stopping you from doing that? Because I don't want people to just relive the same 6 months over and over and over again. Now, before we get into this, because we're going to be covering a lot here and there's going to be a lot to digest, you might want a little bit of time with it. I am going to do some debrief calls tomorrow. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to book in for that now, because otherwise I will forget. So I'm going to share my screen, and there is a QR code there which will take you through to the link. Harry has also put the link in the chat. If you're old school and you want to just click a link, if they do fill up, we might be able to make some more times available. But jump in there, book your time, get yourself in. It's a bit like Ticketmaster, isn't it? It's like booking Oasis tickets, or Lady Gaga, or whatever tickles your pickle. Harry, you let me know how that's going, and then we'll be able to get this rocking and rolling.
Will do.
Yeah, we've got Harry on the call, who is head of operations at GMC. He's the man behind the curtain who helps run everything. If you've had emails about this event, they've probably been off Harry. I've sent a couple, but he's sent the most. So I'm going to give 1 minute, and then we'll move on. How are we doing with that, Harry?
Too bad, not too bad. Got a couple of booked in.
Okay. Right. We'll give you an opportunity to book in with us later on as well, but otherwise it's a kick bollock scramble. Everybody wants to get in. And then, all right. So can everybody see my screen first of all? Just stick a 1 in. Yeah, thumbs up. Okay, good. Let me get the chat up as well so I can see everything. All right. Let's get into this. So here's what we're going to do today. The idea of this event is, as I said, is to go through where you are now, where you want to be, what the biggest challenges are. We're going to kick off with a quick roadmap so you know what to expect throughout the day. Something I want to stress to you guys, this is not just a talk. This is not me talking at you. It's a workshop where you are going to be doing the work. If you're here for an afternoon of being motivated, jump off the call, because this is useless to you. That's not what we do at GMC. We're about taking action. We're about putting things in place. We do not stay stuck. We're not here to tickle each other's balls. We're here to do some work and know where we are going. So that's really, really important. Speaking of what I want you to get out of today, by the end of today, I want you to all have real clarity on where you are, where you want to be, and what has been in the way. And we're going to go deep. We're not going to do some surface level crap about, I'm busy, I don't have time, I'm an emotionally, that's all surface level stuff. That is not the root cause of the reason why you are not where you want to be. Everything that we do today is in service of getting you back in the driving seat. And as I've put at the bottom there, this is an opportunity for you to turn your year on its head and turn 2025 into your year. Everybody says it, don't they, at the beginning of the year, and not everybody follows through with it. So it's really important that we've got a plan to execute. What you will need, so as I've already said a couple of times, you're going to need pen and paper. Please don't be driving. Please don't be checking emails. Please don't be on social media. Please don't be, in a noisy room where you're distracted, because you are doing yourself a disservice. And that's probably one of the reasons why you're not where you want to be, because you keep selling yourself short and doing yourself a disservice. So have yourself in a nice quiet room, have a pen and paper, yes, pen and paper, or something that you can write with if it's an iPad or something like that, and have an open mind. And what I ask of every single person who is on this call is I'm going to ask you to be honest with yourself. That is so, so, so important. If you're not honest with yourself, this isn't going to work. It's as simple as that. You have to be honest with yourself. Please don't just watch passively. It's a really big bugbear of mine. If you're just here for some entertainment, please get off the call. That's not what we're about. Okay, so let's get things started. We're going to have a look at where you are now. And I want to start with a truth, not the story that you tell people, not the excuses. What line are you currently on? Are you growing? You've got momentum, you've got clarity, you know where you're going. That's the green line. Are you stalling? Are you stuck? Are you coasting? Are you frustrated? That's the blue line. Or are you going backwards? Are you regressing, avoiding things, self-sabotaging? Just drop a G, a B, or an R in it for G for green, B for blue, R for red, with which line, where you currently are at the minute. Some reds, some blues, a couple of greens. Christian, not in between. We're either green or we're blue. We're not green and blue. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right. So our first exercise of the day. So you get your pen and paper ready. Please don't race ahead as well with this. And just before we get into the actual exercise parts, please don't overthink. Just whatever comes to your head, go with that. There's no right or wrong answers here. That's really, really important to remember. This is not a test. I'm not going to ask you to share what you've written or anything like that. So whatever line you have just said that you are on, I want you to write down 3 to 5 behaviors that have got you to where you are. So if you're green and you're winning, what are the 5 behaviors that have got you there? If you're blue and you're stalling, what are the 5 behaviors that are keeping you there? If you're red and you're going backwards, same thing. Answer that first for me. Should have some lobby music here. Don't write in the chat for me. I want you to write this on a piece of paper, on your pen and paper. And the reason that I want you to do that is because I want you to be able to come back to this at the end of the year and you'll be in one of 2 camps. I did that exercise, did that event with Keegan, and I've taken action off the back of it and I've moved forward and I've made progress. Or you're going to be able to look back at it and go, I did that and I did fuck all about it. Those are the 2 camps that you're going to be in. And I don't want you to be in the latter. So please, please, please write it down on a piece of paper so that you've got a record of what you're doing. So 3 to 5 behaviors of what got you on the line that you're on, whether you're on the green, moving forward, whether you're on the blue, stagnating, or whether you're on the red, regressing. And then once you've done that, I want you to just close your eyes for 10 seconds and really think about how you feel right now. How do you feel in your body? Do you feel tired? Do you feel energized? Do you feel light? Do you feel heavy? Think about how you feel in your mind. Is it frantic? Is it anxious? Is it calm? Is it settled? Think about how you feel and think about how you feel in your habits. Do you feel confident in them? Do they support you? Are there things that or do your habits frustrate you? Do they get in the way? Just sit for 10 seconds and think about that and then write 3, 4, 5 words down for body, for mind, and for your habits. What we're doing is we're anchoring and we're getting familiar with where we're at. Not where we'd like to be, not where we think that we should be, not where we tell people where we are, where we actually are. So write down how you feel in your body, how you feel in your mind, how you feel within your habits. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, so don't rush. But as I said, write down the things that come to mind straight away. Don't overthink it. Don't try to analyze how you feel about how you feel. Okay? And I've wrote down there, what does this cost you? But I'm going to come back to that in a minute. All right. So just one more minute while we write these things down, get some words down: body, mind, habits. Okay. So now that's some kind of surface level stuff, right? Now I want to really think about the line that you're on. So you're either on green, blue, or red. And I want you to answer the question in accordance with that. If you're growing and you're doing great, to be honest, I don't know why you're on a reset call. But how can you continue to do that without burning out? If you're on that blue line and you're stagnating, maybe some of the answers that you've just written down are going to help you. What is keeping me in limbo? And if you're on that red line and you're regressing, that is going to be a direct correlation with letting your standards slip. So which standards have you let slip if you're on red? Because what's really important that we have at all points is an understanding of the consequences of what we do. Because doing something and doing nothing are both choices, and both of them have consequences. And some of those consequences are good outcomes, some are bad outcomes. It's going to vary for different people in different circumstances at different times in their life. But it's really, really important that we as individuals are clear on the circumstances of the actions that we are taking. So once you've got that answer down, for whatever line you're on, it should be very, if you're being honest with yourself, it'll be very apparent. And don't just, and try not to put vague things like, I'm on red because I'm lazy. Why are you lazy? Do you not get up when your alarm goes off? Do you say no to, do you say yes to things that you should say no to? Are you overworked? Are you not sleeping enough? Like, why do you feel that you're lazy? Go deeper. Don't just flannel yourself by saying, I'm lazy, I'm tired, I don't have time. That is not helping you. That's you bullshitting yourself and excusing yourself. So as I talked about consequences there, I want you to ask yourself what is the cost of staying where you are right now? What is the cost of staying on that green line, the good things and the bad things, the blue line or the red line? What is it doing to your confidence? What is it doing to your body? What is it doing to your relationships? What is it doing to your self-talk? So you can answer those three questions separately if you like, that are on there. They're just to kind of guide you to get an answer of what being where you are is costing you. Because this is a reason why people stay stuck for years and years and years, because they never get clarity on what it's costing them. Is it costing you energy? Is it costing you confidence? Is it costing you sanity? Is it costing you relationships? Is it costing you opportunities at work, with partners, with dates, with friends? Is it costing you, having to sit with yourself, not being able to sit with yourself because there's this constant chatter, this inner critic? And I want you to think about what would happen if nothing changes over the next 6 months, because that's what we're going to be putting together. We're going to be putting together a plan for you to change things over the next 6 months. So what is the impact of nothing changing over the next 6 months? Is life better? Is it worse? If so, how so? If it's better, how is it better? Maybe you've had a really good first half of the year, but if you carry on at the pace that you're going, you're going to burn yourself out. We're trying to get optics. We're trying to get a full, holistic view of where we're at and what the ramifications of that are. Okay, we're going to move on. So I don't want you to answer any of these questions. I just want you to think about if you've normalized where you're at. As I said, people often live the same 6 months over and over and over again. And it's because they have a limiting belief. This is one of the big things that we work on with our clients at GMC is the limiting beliefs that they have that this is just my life. This is just who I am. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a person who works out. I'm not a person who looks after myself. I'm not a person who sets boundaries. So have you told yourself that you're just this kind of person? Are you lowering your standards to justify your current set of circumstances? Are you waiting for motivation? People talk to me about this. What do I do to stay motivated? I'm going to give you a real good bit of insight here. If you don't take anything away, take this away. Motivation ain't coming to save you. Anybody can train or eat well or say no to things or say yes to things when they feel motivated to do so. Anybody on the planet can do that. A 3-year-old can do that. The people who you look up to, the people who you want to emulate, the people who are successful in whatever area of life you're talking about, do things when they don't feel like it. Because anybody can do it when they feel like it. So what I want to do here is just get an audit of what needs to shift for you. What is one belief, habit, or mindset that is stopping you from moving forward, from getting to where you want to be? I just talked about limiting beliefs. Do you have a limiting belief where, you say, I'm not this kind of person. I can't do this. This always happens to me. Usually if it's a sentence that has always or never in it, is not true. Certainly if it's about yourself. Now, let me just have a look here. I think I've skipped something. Okay. So this is really important. Now, once you've written this down, I want you to take a look at the answers that you've written down and just put a Y or an N in the chat. Has this given you a clear idea of where you are right now and what it's costing you? Okay, lots of yeses. This is good. Okay. It's really important to remember that you don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your systems. Okay, Pete said, I see it, but I don't believe it can change. Interesting. Maybe by the end of this call, you will do. Now, something that's really important to remember is for anybody who said they were on the blue line, is this idea of maintenance. I'm just coasting along and I'm doing all right. Most people don't live a decade. They live 10 years. And by that, I mean, I actually don't think it's 10 years. I think it's 20 lots of 6 months. They just live the same 6 months over and over and over again because you think that you're staying the same, but nobody stays the same. You're either reinforcing patterns that move you forward or you're reinforcing patterns that move you backwards. Flatlining is not neutral because you're getting older. There's less time. You're getting more responsibilities. There's loads of stuff going on. Flatlining is sliding backwards in disguise. Maybe not as aggressively as the red line. But if you just ask yourself, if I was to stay exactly the same for the next 20 years, would I look back and be proud of that or not? The answer is going to be no, right? Because we all want to improve. So it's really, really important if you feel, oh, I'm just coasting along, I'm doing all right, that's going to catch up with you. So we're going to move on. Is everybody with me so far? Is everybody finding this useful? Drop a Y in the chat if you're finding it useful. Okay, good. And we're ahead of time, which for anybody, we've got a few GMCers in here as well. This is the kind of stuff that we do with the guys in GMC regularly so that they don't get stuck. Yeah, their coaches do it with them. We do it with them on our group calls. Yeah, Peter Jarvis said it's confronting. Good. It's exactly supposed to be that. Because if it's not I'm going to tell you, this is something that we talk about with the guys who are in GMC. There are two types of people in the world who will tell you things that you don't want to hear. One of them is a nasty person, a bit of an asshole who just wants to make you feel crap. And there are people who actually truly, really care about you, and they want to tell you things that you don't want to hear, but that you need to hear. That is what my job is. That is what the coaches at GMC's job is to tell you things that you don't want to hear, that you need to hear to get out of your own way. Any success that I have ever had is because someone has helped me get out of my own way. Whether that has been not believing in myself, whether that has been not seeing that I could do something, or having the skill set and someone telling me you don't have the skill set, and then being able to go and do it. So for someone said earlier about not believing it, I've been there. I've not believed in myself. That's why you get somebody else to do it. Someone who you trust. So we're going to move forward now into where do you want to be? All right. So as I said before, we've now established point A, where you are right now. Now we need to establish point B, which is where you're going to get to. And then we're going to establish how do we bridge the gap. Okay. And it's really important to remember that your goals from January did not disappear. You just got distracted. You lost focus. And that's why I've spoke about being clear. Clarity is magnetic. Vague is weak. Vague gets distracted. Vague doesn't go anywhere. When you're specific about where you want to be, what that person looks like, you're gonna move quickly. You're gonna move forward really quickly. All right. So I want you to think about the gold standard version of you. Maybe not even the gold standard version of you. Maybe just the next version of you, because you're going to continue to evolve throughout your life. This is the infinite game. You don't finish playing until you're dead. All right. And hopefully for all of us, that's a long way away. So I want you to, for the next version of you, the better version of you that you want to become, answer these questions. What time does he wake up? How does he feel in his body? What does his ideal day look like? And don't just put sipping cocktails on a beach while he's been fanned by, sexy Brazilian boys. Because as much as we might all want that, that's not going to happen, is it? Let's found this in reality of the next, maybe that's a future version of you, but for most of us, it's not the next version. And I want you to write down what this person no longer tolerates. What does he say no to? How does he feel at the end of a work week? And then ask, what kind of man is he becoming? Think of the values that he embodies, the people that he has around him, what people think of him, or the energy that he puts out into the world. Think of that version of you. And as I said, this does not have to be the end product. This is the next version of you. So if you're someone who's your confidence is really low and you're like, do you know what? I don't go to the gym. It might just be, I wake up at 7 o'clock rather than slobbing in my bed until I wake up. Or how do I feel in my body? I feel a little bit less tired. You don't have to set the world on fire. Meet yourself where you're at. This is something that we do with our GMC guys all the time, is we meet them where they're at. It's about finding out where that person is and what that person needs to take their next step. That is very different for every single person. So this is why you are doing the work, because you know where you are. If you are willing to be honest and confront that, because some of us don't like where we are, and we say that we should be somewhere else. We ought to be doing this, but that doesn't matter what should or ought or any, that doesn't butter no parsnips. It's about finding out where you actually are right now and meeting yourself there. We must meet ourselves where we're at. So write down some answers for all these questions. What time do you wake up? How do you feel in your body? What does your ideal day look like? What are you not tolerating? How do you feel at the end of the working week? What kind of man are you becoming? Because the future version of you is not some fantasy. He is real. But guess what? There's a cost. And most men are not willing to pay the price. That cost is energy. That cost is discomfort. That cost is investing in yourself, that time and that energy to become that version of you. Because it ain't just going to drop into your lap. A little exercise for everybody here. I need to drop one word that describes your future self in the chat. One word that describes your future self in the chat. Confident, confident, authentic, energetic, confident, presentable, healthy, grounded, focused, fit, adaptable, happy, decisive, comfortable. Love these. Calm, strong. Do you see how it's different things for different people? What a beautiful example of how we're all striving for different things. And yet we're all here on a Saturday afternoon or morning, wherever you are, because we're all driven by the desire to live a better life. And it's all possible. Okay, so thinking about that future version of you, I want you to ask, what environments or habits support that version of you? So who does he hang around with? What are his general habits? You know, who's he spending time with? Where does he spend his time? Is it down the boozer? Is it in, you know, a community of men who have got similar goals? Is it at work? Is it at university? Is it with your mum and dad? Is it with friends? Is it with his partner? Like, who does he spend his time with? What are his environments? Are they clean? Are they tidy? Are they organized? What habits does he do? Does he go to the gym? Does he eat well? Does he go out? Does he have what's his social life look like? And this is really important, guys. I can't stress this enough. Don't put the answer that you think it should be. Don't think, oh, he should live like a monk and go to the gym and eat vegetables and go to bed at 9 p.m. and wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. If that is not the version of you that you want to be, that's just some bullshit answer, because that version of you is not aligned with who you actually are. So think about what your version of you looks like. And I can see people looking up and going, oh, fuck, that's not as easy. Yeah, it's not easy. Like I said, there's a cost. What choices does he make automatically? You know? You know, is it something like when someone tries to get him off track, he doesn't let them, even if it's uncomfortable, because boundaries are often uncomfortable. So I want you, the reason that we're doing this is I want you to get really, really clear on the person that you want to become. And this is because what we find at GMC, after working with hundreds of men over the last however many years, is there are two phases that people come into GMC. The first phase is that we want to run away from the person that we are. We don't like them. We don't like how they show up. We don't like how we feel. We don't like how they talk, their self-talk. We don't like their lack of confidence. And we want to get away from that. And so we take action, because the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same. But it gets to a point where you've actually run far enough away from that person and you've changed enough. And then this is where people often get to, and then they go, oh, I'm done now. And then they just backslide into that person. So what's really important once we get to that point is that we start running toward the person that we want to become. It's not just about running away from the person that you don't want to be. It's about running toward the person that you want to become. And very rarely can we do both of them at the same time. We have to go through the former before we can do the latter. And this is why this bit's really important. So now what I want you to do is I want you to write these down, and I want you to write beliefs, write a list: beliefs, identity, habits, boundaries, self-talk, energy management, execution. Write those down in a list. And once you've done that, I'll give everybody a second to do that. Once you've done that, next to each one, I want you to score yourself out of 10. 10 being the very best that it can be, 1 being the very worst. So what are your beliefs positive? Do they help you? Are they beliefs that allow you to do the things that you want to do? Your identity, are you the person that you want to be? Do you feel confident and comfortable in the person that you are? Habits, are they in line with the person that you want to be? Do they allow you to live accordingly? Your boundaries, do you say no to the things that you don't want to do and yes to the things that you do want to do? Are you okay with being uncomfortable, making boundaries? Are you okay saying no to people that it might piss off? Your boss, your family, your partner? Are you able to prioritize yourself? Your self-talk. Does your self-talk say, hey, you can do this. You've got this. You're doing all right. Well done. You've done a great job there. Do you know what? We could have done that a little bit better, but we had a good effort. Or does it say you're a piece of shit, you're lazy, why aren't you doing that? Why you should be doing this? Is your self-talk full of shoulds, shame, ought to? And your energy management, do you look after yourself? Do you wake up on a morning with energy and go to bed on a night tired and have a good sleep? Or are you nodding at your desk at 11 o'clock, starving because you're not eating properly and fueling yourself right? And then the last one is execution. Do you do the things that you say that you are going to do to the best of your ability? Do you follow through? Are you a person that you can trust? That's what execution is. Once you've scored all those things between 1 and 10 for where you are right now, I want you to then score them for the next version of you. So please don't put 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, because it ain't going to happen, right? We've got to be realistic. But for the next version of you that you want to aspire to be, that's going to be a little bit, and in some areas, maybe a lot better than where you're at. So maybe he's going to jump up 2, 3, 4 points in a particular area. It's going to depend. But think about that future version of you that you've just been mapping out, about what his perfect week is like, how he shows up. What are his beliefs out of 10? What's his identity out of 10? What's his habits, boundaries, self-talk, energy management? And I can guarantee you it's not 10, because that person doesn't exist. There is no perfect person with perfect beliefs, perfect identity, perfect habits. God knows I'm a long way from being that person. But it's not about being that person. It's about being growing and being better than you are now, and feeling more comfortable than you do now, more proud than you do now, more content than you do now, more energized than you do now, more comfortable in your own skin, more confident. So Michael said, is this the future me in 6 months? Yes. This is the next version of you. So if we're talking about 6 months' time, is your identity going to shift massively in 6 months? Maybe. I wouldn't say any more than 2 or 3 points, though. Whereas your habits can drastically improve. Your energy management can drastically improve. Your execution can drastically improve. Boundaries can, most of them can. But we want to be realistic. We want to give ourselves a 6 months time frame. Because if you make this unrealistic, your subconscious is going to look at this and go, that's a load of bullshit. There's no way we can do that. And that's where that kind of self-sabotage comes in, because you're not aligned. People don't lack confidence, they lack alignment. So I've just headed myself off there. The man that you want to be is not some la idea or that you can put together on some Pinterest board. It's not some morning routine that takes 4 hours. It's not found in supplements. It is found through actions that align with the person that you are and the actual person that you want to become. When you remove shame, when you remove obligation, when you remove ought to, when you remove trying to impress people, when you remove the facade of social media and inauthenticity. You don't need to be shredded to death and make loads of money if that's not what you're interested in. If that's what you're interested in, power to you, go for it. But if you want to live a comfortable life, you know, with a job that you love and have a nice social life with friends that actually care about you and build you up, that is a wonderful thing to aspire to have. It's not about what the world thinks that, what you think that the world says that you should have. It's about what you actually want. Those are the confident people. People look at me and say that I'm confident. I'm, talking to however many people here on a Saturday afternoon about this. This is because this is what I want to do, and I'm passionate about it, and I love doing it. This is aligned with who I am and what I'm about, not what social media says I should do or the world says that I should do or anything like that. And that's what we want you to do, is to live in accordance with that alignment of who you are, what your values are, and who you want to become. That is what we do at GMC. That is what we help people do. That is what we are passionate about. And there's no reason that every single person on this call cannot do that. Okay, we're well ahead of time here, which is great, because that is not like me at all. So just before we move on, in fact, we'll have a little break in a second, but I just want to get give me a yes or a no, a Y or an N in the chat. Has that helped clarify where you want to get to, the person that you want to be? Can you see that? Have you got a clear picture of it in your mind's eye? And if you don't, that's cool. We'll work on that. Okay, lots of yeses. This is great. Getting there. Good. That's movement. That's progress. Remember, we're looking for progress. We're not looking for perfection. We're not looking for no finished articles. We're looking about moving forward. It's okay to be uncertain. If you're ever thinking about making a decision, you only need to be 51% sure. You never need to be more than that. Because if any decision, I've never been fully certain about any decision I've made in my life. If I told you I was, I'd be lying to you. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to have a 5-minute break. So we're going to come back here at 2:46, and we are going to go through what is in this gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And we're going to put a plan of action together so that you're able to take those steps to get from where you are to where you want to be over the next 6 months. So go have a wee, have a drink, do what you need to do. 46, we're starting. 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minute warning. Okay, 1 minute, guys, and we're going to get back into things. Okay, guys, are we all good to go? Are we all relieved? Are we fed, watered, relieved? Just stick a 1 in the chat for me if you're ready to go. Just want to make sure we've got everybody here and that everybody's alive. Okay. So good. We're all here. Right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with this. We are gonna talk about the gap. Why aren't you there? And you notice that I've put yet in brackets. And the reason that I've put yet is because this is a hill that I am willing to die on, is that nobody is beyond saving. Nobody is beyond getting to the place where they want to do and living their life. If someone like me who grew up on a council estate, who was overweight, who was horrified about their own sexuality, who almost committed suicide, if I can get to a point where I'm happy in my life and love who I am, which I do, I absolutely believe that anybody can do it because I know how much of a shit state I was in. Now, the two exercises that we've done previously are easier than this. And this is the hardest gap to close. And it's not because it's hard. I want to be really clear on this. It is not because it's hard. It's because it requires honesty. It requires honesty. So I want to ask you, what is one thing that you know would help, but you haven't followed through on? What is one thing that you know would help you, but you haven't followed through on? Yes, it is confronting, Peter. It is confronting, and you are confronting your demons. You're confronting the old habits, routines, behaviors, thought patterns. Because I would love to tell you that there's a way to enjoy life and move forward without doing that, but there isn't. And there's a risk. There's a risk to challenging those things and it being difficult and it being challenging. But let me tell you this. The growth that is on the other side of the challenge is always equal to the size of the challenge. Big challenge, big growth. I have gone through many challenges in my life, and on the other side of them, I've always thought, I'm really glad I did that. So the question that I asked was, what is one thing that you know would help you, but you haven't followed through on? I'm going to come back to this question later, so don't stress too much. But as you can see from this lovely diagram that I put together, there's current you on the left-hand cliff, there's future you on the right-hand side, and then there's a gap in the middle. Now, people think that that gap is not knowing how to go to the gym, not eating properly, not having enough time, but it's not. It's deeper than that. And that's something that we are really keen on at GMC, is not scratching the surface, because if you scratch the surface, you get a result and then you go backwards. That's why we put on workshops. That's why we do this kind of stuff with our guys, so that we can overcome fear, so that we can beat perfectionism and shame, so that we can get rid of procrastination. We can stop inconsistency. We stop those people who think that they have to do it on their own. And they're just a few examples. They're just a few examples of some of the challenges that we have to overcome. So I want this. This is some things that I want you to write down here. What patterns are keeping you stuck? We want to call them out. This is really important that we name them. Let's call out the patterns, because once we name them, they'll lose their power. What are the patterns that you keep repeating? And don't just put being lazy, not going to the gym. Why are you not going to the gym? Why are you not getting up? Why do you say that you're going to do something and not do it? What's the pattern? What's the pattern? Is it something when something something fires up my emotions, I become insular and I push everybody away? That's a big thing that we work with a lot of people at GMC. Is it that you don't actually believe that you're worthy of feeling a particular way? What are the patterns that you keep repeating? And then I want you to write down, what are the things that you say you'll do, but you don't do? I'm going to give you some time on this because we're ahead. And this is the most important exercise. What are the things that you say that you'll do that you don't do? And then that bottom question is a really powerful question if you're really honest with it. What are you waiting to feel before you take action? Isn't it interesting? Someone said about seeing the future but not feeling certainty. Is that what you're waiting to feel before you take action? Certainty? Is it comfort? Is it motivation? Is it desire? Is it hope? People wait for this perfect time, this perfect set of circumstances, and it doesn't exist. Because now might not be the best time to do things, but it might be the best time that you ever have. Do you ever see yourself not being busy? Do you ever see yourself not being stressed? Do you ever see yourself not being challenged? I don't. In fact, as I get older and I have more responsibilities, I see that getting more challenging. So get really clear on what are the patterns that you keep repeating. What are you doing? What are you saying that you'll do, but you don't do? And what are you waiting to feel before you take action? Okay. I can see people are still writing. So I'm going to give you a minute or two. Minute or two. The more specific you are, remember, vague equals weak, clarity equals strength. Be as clear and clinical as possible, but also be fair. Don't just, this is not an exercise to just make you feel like a piece of shit. That doesn't help anybody. And it's that is lazy. Just sweeping things. Be concise. Okay, so now what is really important for us to do is this is the question that I asked earlier. What is something that you know would help you, but you haven't done consistently? Is it go to the gym? Is it diet? Is it apply for new jobs? Is it go on dates? Is it hire a mentor, coach, do the course, apply for the job? Say no to things. Like, what's something that you know is going to help you, but you haven't done? And then I want you to ask why. Because that why, if you're really honest with yourself, is going to reveal a belief, possibly a limiting belief. I don't deserve it. I'm not capable of it. I'll never be able to do that. I'm not that kind of person. People will laugh at me. People will say this. People will, what is the belief that's underpinning that reason for inconsistency? Just sit with this question for 10 seconds. Why am I not being consistent? Close your eyes and ask yourself, why am I not being consistent with this thing? Do you not believe you can do it? Do you not believe that you're capable of it? Do you not believe that you deserve the success? Are you scared of failure? Are you scared of success? So many people are scared of success because they're scared of how it will change how other people see them. Are you scared of failing? Are you scared of looking an idiot? Are you scared of trying? Okay. These are some of the patterns that keep people stuck. An all or nothing mindset. In fact, let's get a show of hands on these. Who has an all or nothing mindset? Stick a one in the chat if you have an all or nothing mindset. You're either on it and you're amazing and you're an Olympian, or you're doing absolutely jack shit. Interesting. Okay, so perfectionism, that's rooted in shame. Interesting. Who starts strong and then ghosts themselves, abandons themselves? Stick a two in the chat if you do that. If you start strong and then you ghost yourself, okay, that's a self-belief issue or a feeling of deservingness issue. Who compares themselves to other people and then spiral? Stick a three in the chat if that's you. So if you're in, that internal dialogue is about how you should be, what you ought to be doing. They're doing that. Who's waiting for the perfect time? Number 4, waiting for the perfect set of circumstances. Put a 4 in the chat. Yeah. And you know what I'm going to do here? Number 5, if you're waiting for the mood to strike you, if you're waiting for next month, you're waiting for next Monday, you're waiting for next year. Interesting. What are you waiting for? What's going to change? What's going to be better? So every single person has got a pattern that they're repeating, that they're stuck in. So it's really important because as the old adage goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So let's get really clear here. And I want you to write down the things that you have tried. Whether it's, I don't know, some shitty diet like keto or Slimming World, or whether you've tried doing 75 hard or some bollocks like that. Maybe you've tried to self-help yourself, self-help until it's coming out of your ears. You've just thought about your problems. Maybe you've told yourself you're going to be more disciplined and then done jack shit. So you've self-soothed. Write down the full list, the things that you've said to yourself, the things that you have done, the things that you've tried, the things that you've spent time, money, energy on. Because as I spoke about earlier, it's really important that the mode of the thing that you choose, the vehicle, for want of a better word, that you are going to use to help you get to where you are is in line with who you are and your values and your beliefs and the person that you're going to be. So unless you like being ridiculed for putting weight on, you're not going to go to Slimming World. But you might keep trying Slimming World. Unless you are actually going to be more disciplined, then there's no point telling yourself that you're going to be more disciplined. And as we've realized on this call, that saying something and doing something are two very different things. So everybody should have a list. And now you're probably thinking, well, how are we going to bridge this gap, Keegan? We've had a look at where we're at. We've had a look at where we want to be. I know what's not working. I know what is repeating. How am I going to get to where I want to get to? I've got you. I've got you. There's 5 things that everybody needs in some capacity. These are the 5 pillars of the things that we use with our guys at GMC. So you need a plan, right? This is the what to do. What is your plan going to be? How is it going to change? And how is it going to adapt around your life? Because your plan should fit around your life. This is why when people do 75 hard or they do keto or things like that, it ultimately fails because their life is not geared around that. It's not sustainable. You get a result by being consistent. So you need these are the 5 things that I want you to take away from this. You need to put together a plan. Okay? What you're going to do, when you're going to do it, then it's the training side of things. And when we talk about training, there's 3 elements to that. There's nutrition, because you need to feel good and be fueled. There's physical movement, which you need to feel good, move well. And then there's the mindset, the emotional side of it. Because lots of people who've been on this call already have talked about how they have limiting beliefs, they have uncertainty, they don't know what they're doing. They have challenges with their own identity of becoming this person that they want to be. So you're going to need some help with that. Now, there's loads of different places you can get that, whether it's a coach, whether it's a book, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a friend, whether it's a group. Like, there's loads of different places. But you need to have those 3 aspects of your training. You need support. You need somebody in your corner. Ideally, well, not ideally, you need somebody who has done what you want to do. This is one of the reasons why myself and all the GMC staff have coaches. We all have our own coach. Because if we didn't have a coach, we'd be massive hypocrites. And B, we don't know everything. There's always a bigger fish for the Star Wars fans out there. There's always a bigger fish. Someone knows more than you. And it's really important. And something I say to the guys in GMC all the time is you can't read the label when you're in the bottle. Now that support could be a group at the gym. It could be some friends. It could be a partner. It could be a colleague. It could be a coach. It could be an online group. It could be lots of things, but you need that support. You need accountability, because just stick a 1 in the chart if you've ever said, oh, I'm going to do this thing, and then it comes to it and you let yourself off. You go, I don't need to do that, actually. Get those 1s in the chart. A lot of 1s in there, because it's really easy for us to bullshit ourselves. It's not so easy to bullshit other people, because they can see what's going on and they can tell you what you need to know. So having that accountability to follow through, and there's loads of different ways you can do this. You can use apps, you can use groups, you can use coaches, you can use the gym, family members, whatever it might be. There's loads of ways that you can do it. So you need to put a plan together. You need training, you need support, you need accountability. You also need a community, because you can't do this alone. Whatever the internet might tell you, there's no such thing as a lone wolf. It's absolute, utter bullshit. No man is an island. Just stick a yes in a Y or a yes in the chat if it's made you feel more comfortable knowing that there are other people going through what you're going through right now by being on this call. I mean, those Ys are coming in very, very fast, because there's nothing worse than feeling alone and feeling like you're going through it and feeling like you're the one that doesn't have the answers, that can't do the thing. So having a community, whether that's an online one, whether that's an in-person one, whether that's a mixed one, whatever it might be, you need people around you, people with similar challenges, people with similar aspirations, people with similar goals. That is how you're going to sustain where you are going. So that is what you need. That is your homework from this session. I've actually got a couple of guys on from GMC who have kind of put these things together, and they don't even know I'm going to do this, but they're going to talk about where they, like, literally 30 seconds, how having these 5 things has helped them go from where they were at to where they want to be. Todd, would you mind jumping on and sharing for me? Because you're one of our superstars at GMC.
Sure. Yeah. So I've been with GMC about a year, and when I joined, my partner had died from cancer. I was feeling kind of crappy about the way I looked and the way I felt, and I thought I'd just join and get healthy. And then after a while, I realized it wasn't just the getting healthy, the physical part that I needed, that the the other parts that came to GMC were very, very beneficial in how I looked at my life, and the support from my coaches and the other coaches, and from just everybody else. So, the community of people, that we were able to stay in touch with each other and support each other, and that's really helped me to, I still have a long way to go, but it's really helped me to be change some aspects of my life to make it more enjoyable.
That's awesome, Todd. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you jumping on. Todd's underselling himself there. He's a killer. He's doing great. Tim, do you mind jumping on?
Sure. I'm Tim. I've been with GMC about 15 months now. Before joining GMC, my life was not happy. I was in a bad spot. I knew I needed to make a change. Once joining GMC, it's literally has changed my life. Where my head used to be cloudy, and I guess I wouldn't make great decisions. Now I'm a totally different person. My mind is so much clearer. I have more confidence in myself. And this is just not, I mean, just from the coaches, through the community. I think the community is a huge aspect of GMC. This is a great group of guys. But yeah, in this 15 months, I can't look back and remember the person that I was 15 months ago. Forget about the weight loss and all that stuff like that. Just my mindset is completely different.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. I one more. Liam, do you want to jump on and tell us about how having these 5 things has changed where you're at?
Yeah, sure. So I've been with GMC for like 2 years, just over. I was that lazy person that did not do anything and had an excuse for everything. But the plan, followed through with the training, and then the support from the coaches and Keegan and the group itself, to be fair, has turned me into, I would say, one of the most consistent version of myself.
Absolutely.
So I haven't skipped a gym session for 18 months, I think. So it's 4 a week. Nutrition's gone a bit out the window at the minute, but whatever. I'm still focused, still on plan, with everything else. So the community is absolutely what makes this doable, 100%. So Todd and Tim talk to them fairly often, and they're on the other side of the world, so that's helpful. But then I would say I've made a lot of good, solid connections with those people that have those like-minded goals and commonality. So yeah, absolutely, it's changed how I view everything, to be fair.
Top man, top. Thank you, gents. I wanted to share. I just wanted those guys to jump on because those guys. I didn't even know they were jumping on this call, to be honest with you. And I just saw them on here, and I thought these guys have actioned some of this. And as I said, this is not about GMC. And yes, we do all this. You can do this yourself. It takes a lot of effort and whatever. But if that's what you want to do, you can do it. But those are the 5 pillars that you need: the plan, the training, the support, the accountability, and the community. If you have all those 5 things and they're all in line with you, who you are and who you want to be, you will succeed. If one of those is missing, you're going to struggle a bit. All right.